Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, November 4th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. Google had an unconfirmed Google update that seemed to be pretty big. Lots of discussion around that. Google had a search bug that they confirmed that impacted search features, which they were pretty vague about. Links may not be worth as much in the future, according to Google's John Mueller. What if your site got hit by that spam update? I have some examples of that. Local rankings and keywords and reviews, maybe not so important, and so much more. So definitely stay tuned. And of course, I'd like to thank our sponsor. It's Bruce Clay. Bruce Clay is one of the founding fathers of the SEO space, doing search marketing optimization since 1996. Bruce Clay is big into SEO training, so check them out at seotraining.com. And to learn more about Bruce Clay, check out bruceclay.com. And they have a pretty cool commercial. I saw this a few weeks ago for Halloween and SEO. So I figured, you know what, let me play it. It's about 55 seconds. And Bruce was into it. So here's a commercial. I usually don't put a 55-second commercial, but I thought some of you might enjoy a Halloween SEO themed commercial. So here it is.
Help me. I need help with my SEO. My website's not ranking, it's really freaking me out.
Some things you just don't need to worry about. But not SEO. If you want to stop worrying about your site's performance, you need experts. At bruceclay.com, we provide you with smarter search marketing to give you the SEO results you need to feel more at ease.
Any suggestions?
Okay, so the first thing is I have a link below to the Google November Google Webmaster report. I post a Webmaster report related to Google SEO, search-related stuff every month, and I basically recap what happened over the past month. So if you were on vacation or you slept or you were super busy, you could catch up in the past 30 days in that Google Webmaster report. I posted on November 2nd at seroundtable.com, so definitely take a look at that. There may have been a Google algorithm update. There probably was. Unconfirmed. Maybe it was adjustment. Maybe it was some update to an update on October 28th. There's lots of chatter. Glenn Gabe has numerous charts showing the ups and downs. Maybe it was a spam adjustment. Maybe it was some type of algorithm update that impacted other algorithms. It's hard to know. I don't know if it was a reversal. I doubt. Google usually does not do reversals, but it may have had a result where it was a reversal to your previous update. So maybe you got slammed by the spam update. Maybe you got spammed by the helpful content update. Maybe you got slammed by a product reviews or core update. And this may have, whatever happened on October 28th or so, may have had an impact reversing that for the better or for the worse. The tools did somewhat pick up on that as well. Definitely did. You can see the tools showing that. But there's also some chatter on there. It was not a significant chatter, but there was definitely chatter around that, especially from Glenn Gabe. Lily Ray's noticed some stuff. Taylor Kurtz. And a bunch of other SEOs, Barry Adams. So it's very interesting to see that. So if you were impacted on October 28th, you were not alone. Google has, in a vague way, confirmed some type of Google search bug impacting some search features, including, which they specifically called out, top stories, but not only top stories. Google wrote, and let me quote, and it's dated October 28th. So Google released a fix to a bug that primarily affected some search features, such as top stories, and that became most noticeable around October 18th and 19th. The bug fix will take about a week to fully roll out. So October 28th, they fixed it. It's going to take about a week to roll out. Now, I asked Google for more information yesterday morning, about 24 hours ago. Multiple ways I asked Google, no response yet. I'm not sure. I'm like, can you give us a little bit more detail about this? So it seems like it was not just it wasn't a reporting glitch. It seems like it was a Google search bug impacting the search features directly in what you do. So you may see an impact in terms of your clicks, impressions, and so forth in Google Search Console because there was a bug there. After October 28th, it was fixed. And this was actually noted in the performance report for search, not for rich results, not for news, for specifically search. So it seemed big. So we had that spam update. Lots of sites, especially in the Black Hat forums, were complaining about the spam update. But Mark Williams Cook shared a pretty fun chart basically showing that he had a scraped content mix site where they basically scraped the PAA, the people also ask results, to generate, I think, 10,000 automatically generated pages, he said, from the Google's People Also Ask results. So he took the People Also Ask results, created a website with 10,000 plus pages based off of that, and the site was doing okay. And then the spam update came out, and the site got tanked. And he shared this chart showing it, and he's cool basically sharing this because he's like, he tests Google, and this is what happens when you spam Google. So take a look at that. It's pretty cool. And there's lots of sites complaining about the same thing. People are saying AI content, people are saying, crazy theories. In short, if you're spamming Google, you're generating automatically generated content from spammy scraper sites. It doesn't have to be AI. It could be poor AI. It could be poor hand done stuff. In terms of just copying and pasting content and scrambling it. Google may catch you eventually, so be careful. Google's John Mueller said they released the Search Off the Record podcast, which is basically a recording of a Search Off the Record podcast done at Brighton SEO as a keynote address. And one of the questions he addressed, John Mueller, was, are links going to be less important in the future? And he said, yes. He basically said, over time, Google has other signals, and those signals become more important, and other signals become less important. And links are one of those signals that he thinks in the future, and maybe even today, but also in the future, will be less important. So definitely take a look at that, and I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. Google's Matt Cutts said this 8 years ago, and now we're 8 years after, and it's still the case, where other signals become more important, specifically content. It used to be that links were king back when I first started writing about SEO, 20 so years ago. But now in the past, several years, content has really surpassed links by a big shot. And Google even confirmed several years ago that links are not the most important ranking factor, and it will not be the most important ranking factor in the future. Google has finally added the Google Lens button to Google's desktop search box. So you go to google.com on your browser, you will see the Google Lens button. Google's been testing it in multiple places many times. Google added to the mobile search results years ago. Google added to Google image search on desktop earlier this year. And now Rajan Patel from Google, who's in charge of that, basically announced this week that it's actually now on the Google desktop, which is a big deal because Google doesn't change their homepage that often. Google also has added new features around how to find shopping deals across different websites. Google will now add these clippable coupon codes, promotion codes. You can actually click on it, will copy it to your clipboard, which seems, very. I hate those sites. There's lots of sites that do it. It's not spammy, but whatever. They also have a side-by-side comparison feature, and also this new section called Price Insights that show you what are good deals and so forth going forward. Google is also testing showing site name and favicon, which they launched on mobile a couple of weeks ago, now on desktop. This is a test. This was first spotted, I believe, by Takur Aziz, where basically Google's now showing the favicon and the site name from the structured data or from other areas on desktop, not just on mobile, which is perfectly expected. Although Google had this feature years ago and they took it down because of the ad label and the label and the Google label were kind of too similar and people were complaining about it, so they removed it. Google has updated some of its search documentation, but did not document that because they weren't significant enough in Google's mind to actually document. One is something they did document around the search essentials, obviously was renamed from the Google Webmaster guidelines, but one thing that Marie Haynes noticed was that Google removed all the page rank references and no longer says page rank and just mentions links, which is pretty cool. I didn't notice that change. The Sitemap's documentation has changed, and they basically said instead of just including session IDs, they also added user-dependent identifiers. Small little change there. And also, Google made a change to the title links doc, basically calling it, instead of controlling your title links, basically influencing your title links, because it's not really controlling it, because Google could use other variables, so you can't really control it, but you can influence what Google shows there. Little small changes, also some more minor changes there if you want to take a look at that. Google said that having duplicate content URLs in your sitemap file won't result in causing a ranking issue. So if you have, duplicate content across your website, parameters and so forth that maybe generate duplicate content URLs, and you feed that in your Google sitemap, Google will figure it out. Just like Google crawls, it's just another input for Google to crawl your website and find content. So because of that, you don't have to worry. Google will figure it out. Submitting in your sitemap file won't cause more issues, specifically with rankings. It might has issues with crawlability and crawling too much, but it's not going to issue your ranking. It's not going to have an impact with your rankings, John Mueller said. Google also said that, specifically John Mueller said that Search Console verified sites do not get crawled more often. Just because your site is verified by Google search in Google Search Console doesn't mean your site will be crawled more. That's some type of myth. Not sure where it came from. Another myth that John Mueller addressed was that your website does not need 200,000 words across the whole entire website to be considered authoritative. There was some type of blog post where somebody said that Google said that you need more than 30 articles for your website to be authoritative. That's not true. He basically said you don't need to have a certain number of articles on your website to be considered authoritative. So somebody took that myth, then said, all right, 30 articles equals X amount of content, so you need 200,000 words to be authoritative. Not true. There is no specific content limit, so don't worry about that. Also, John Mueller said that writing content based off of search volume keyword lists is a bad way of writing content. Your content will turn out to be mediocre. So all you're doing is basically figuring out how to write content. What should I write today? You basically go to some generic keyword list saying, oh, this keyword is getting a lot of search volume. Let me write about that. If you're not an expert authority on that space and you write about it, just because it's a keyword list, the content's going to be poor, not great, not going to rank well. Write content based on stuff that you know that you could actually make a difference on. Google's Business Profile Manager seems to be redirecting more places to the Google search interface. Now, Google announced with the Google My Business transition to Google Business Profiles that Google's going to be getting rid of the Google Business Profile Manager for many. And this process has been slow, but as of yesterday, I'm no longer able to click from the Google Business Profile Manager onto my property or my business listing and actually edit it there. I have to go into Google Search. It actually redirects me to Google Search to edit. And then from there, you can actually sneak your way in. So if people at the local search forums are noticing this and they're finding loopholes around to get back into the Google Business Profile Manager, which is pretty funny, but eventually it's going to go away forever. A study by Sterling Sky, Joy Hawkins' team, said it was a pretty limited study, just a few keywords here and one business profile, basically saying we injected these keywords into reviews, we waited, we then did a test to see if those keywords would actually be replicated and show up in the Google local results when searching for them. So I think it was like Christmas tree, and we added reviews with the word Christmas tree to the reviews, but those local results did not come up for a local query for the term Christmas tree. And thus reviews in local keywords and local reviews do not impact rankings according to the study. Of course, it's a limited study, a lot of controversy around it, but it was interesting to test anyway. Google Business Profiles, photo insights, the insights you get, the analytics you get from your photos in your Google Business Profiles will not be migrating over to the new Google Business Profile Management tool. They're going to be a performance report, but the performance report will not have photo insights according to Joy Hawkins. Google Ads, similar audience segments will be going away. It's going away sometime next year. And this is not a surprise to many, but people are not so happy about it. Starting in May 2023, you'll no longer be able to generate these similar audience segments. And then in August 2023, they will be removed completely and replaced. So keep that in mind. Also, Google Ads has changed their government documents and official services policies. If you do that, I'm not sure exactly what the changes are, but I wrote about it. I copied and pasted it. It was very governmental the way they wrote it. So it's a little hard to understand. Also, Google is showing on-time delivery, order accuracy, and other little markup items, tags in the actual search ads for product listings, merchant listings, and so forth. This was spotted by Brian Fitzgerald. Sorry for the name. And basically, he shows screenshots of how it's showing on-time delivery and order accuracy. Again, this is something we covered months and months ago about you being able to feed your order accuracy in this data into the Google Merchant Center feed, and now it's there. Bing is testing animated search ads in the image search results. This is pretty interesting as well. Here's a screenshot of that. And Microsoft Advertising has upgraded their Google Performance Max import tool to be more flexible and import other things as well. So definitely take a look at that. In any event, thank you so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news you covered over the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com over the past week. Sorry for talking fast. A lot to discuss. In any event, have a great weekend. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. Comment. Always appreciate that. Everyone, be well, be safe, be healthy, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.